Good morning. We pray. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. God of wonder and mercy, it is a special privilege to gather here today in your name to honor the gift of faith and mercy and the legacy of the Sisters of Mercy to Belize. You inspire the courageous Catherine to ignite the spark that has become a blaze and serve your people across continents, races, social class, and religions. You gave the 5 young sisters that started this house of mercy in what was a mosquito-infested mangrove swamp with tenacity and resilience to persevere and succeed in their mission of opening SCA within a week of their arrival. These faithful women were the inspiration for our own Belizean women who joined the community and were pillars building this nation. Today, we rejoice and sing because we are the proud heirs of their strength, their faith, their determination to do God's work among His people. In gratitude, we honor the memory of the sisters who are no longer with us. And we pray that their souls may be at peace. We ask a blessing of good health and many good cups of tea for Sister Marion Joseph, who has since retired to the Mercy community in Carolina, for Sister Gregoria Lizama in Belmopan, for our Albert Street sisters, Sister Margaret and Sister Sarita, for sisters at the convent at SCA, Sister Leonor Franco, Sister Mercy Cervantes, Sister Miriam Claire Ford, and Sister Rebecca Lizama, and Sister Leona Panton, and for our very own, very energetic Sister Rose Rivera. We thank you for the great privilege and honor to impact mercy with them. Lord, you have blessed our school community with a positive support of teachers, support staff, parents, alumni, students, and friends. We see you through their generous actions, their kind words, and their financial gifts. We ask that you pour blessings without measure upon Sister Lisa and our Mesa family, upon Sister Julie and our Casa family, upon Sister Sandra and our Mercy family in Honduras, upon our benefactors and their families. Bless them with health, success, happy homes, filled with peace, joy, and laughter. May every seed sown into SCA reap a bountiful harvest. As we prepare to begin this celebration with this panel, we ask a special blessing upon our panelists. Let them inspire, let them continue to be testaments of your work. May we always remember your word to the Thessalonians. Rejoice always, pray continually, give thanks in all circumstances, for this is God's will. Gratitude we pray. Amen. Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you, Mrs. Phillip. Please take your seat. It is an honor for me to be here. I am very, very, very happy to be with you ladies after so many years of not being here at St. Catherine Academy. I was a teacher here for almost 14 years, and I was privileged to have been working with an amazing faculty, and I'm sure we continue that tradition of working with amazing faculty. I have to just big up my co-homeroom teacher, my past co-homeroom teacher, who I teased this morning, and I said, since the panelists are getting escorted up here, then it should just make sense that you should escort me up here. And Mr. Kevin Thompson says, I'm not dressed for the part. But Mr. Thompson is always ready to do his best, and I'm so happy that he is still here guiding you ladies in the right direction. When I was invited to do the talk, or to be here, Mercy and me, I was thinking about and reflecting on the words of Sister Caritas Lawrence, who said God's greatest glory is woman fully alive. And that makes me think, are we women fully alive following the Mercy values? And the answer should be yes. And today you're sitting here and you're thinking it's hot, I don't need to be here, why do I need to hear these conversations over and over? But ladies, I will tell you this. These women that you have up here, they were there. They were hot. They were complaining. We wanted to get out. But guess what? This Mercy education that we take pride in, it does not stop here. And like what Miss Arlene said, it follows us. And so 50 years from now, when your children and your grandchildren, and maybe my great-grandchildren, because I'm still going to be alive, I will be happy to say that I come from this network, a tough spun web created originally by the Sisters of Mercy, but taken over by these men and women who believe in the Mercy values and who believe in teaching you those Mercy values. But I won't say more. I'll tell you a little bit more about my days with Sister Caritas, SJC boys, a dog, and a fence. That's all I'll say, and I'll tell you more about that story in a little while. But first, let's get down to business. We have some serious conversations to have today, and we're going to start off with inviting Sister Lisa Griffith. And Sister Lisa grew up in Mississippi, one of 10 children, and she entered the Sisters of Mercy in 1984. She has a Bachelor's of Science in Business Education, a Master's in Counseling, a Certificate in Secondary School Administration. She has spent her ministerial life as an educator, and she has served in Louisiana, Arkansas, and Georgia. She has the honor now of being the Executive Director for the Mercy Education Systems of America. Ladies and gentlemen, please let us welcome Sister Lisa Griffith, Religious Sister of Mercy.
Good morning. First, I want to bring you greetings and well wishes and congratulations from the Mercy Education Board, staff, and the other 54 Mercy schools within the Institute of the Sisters of Mercy of the Americas. Congratulations on 140 years. When I reflected on the impact of Mercy had on my life and what I wanted to say to you today, 3 elements came to mind and I could not separate them. These are my family, my faith or my relationship with God, and mercy. Each of these gives me the breath of life. Throughout my life, my parents instilled a strong faith life in me. Some of this was through my experience of church, but it was more about the teaching me and my 9 brothers and sisters how to follow in the footsteps of Jesus, to live by the Gospels. We did go to church as a family, and I participated in religious education classes. I was unfortunate to live in a town that did not have where I did not have the opportunity of a Catholic education. Growing up in a large family taught me a great deal, and now I see how these lessons I learned are linked with the gospel message and the gospel values. And just to name a couple, we welcomed others into our home. Some might say we welcomed the stranger. It did not matter if they were different. We just always knew there was room for one more at the table. We learned to treat each other with dignity and respect. Now, as siblings, we were not always nice to each other. But if anyone treated another one of us poorly, we all rallied, just as we know there are individuals who always need others to stand up for them. We looked out for those in need. When one is needing help, we always had someone to ask for support. Our family was not wealthy, but we always shared whatever we had with others. I think it was through these lessons and many others that laid the foundation for hearing God's will move throughout my life. I was in high school when I began thinking about being a Sister of Mercy. Yes, your age. I believe one reason this happened was because someone planted a seed. So today, I want to plant a seed with you. There are many vocations in life. All are important, and each of us will receive a call, an invitation from God to answer. As I discerned this call, I came to understand what God was asking of me. God was asking me to dedicate my life in service through faith. I could do this without entering a religious community, but the vows taken by the sisters rang true to me. The vows of poverty, chastity, obedience, and service. Living a life dedicated to God through the vows is a special calling. As I learned more about the Sisters of Mercy, I was drawn to Catherine McCauley, how she lived out the gospel message, and being part of a group that had a common focus and could enjoy life. When we take these vows, we receive a ring, and in that ring, we each have a motto. My motto is, live simply, live fully. I try not to desire, need, or want the stuff, the material things of life, but I do want to live life to its fullest, to experience God's creation, develop relationships, be part of creating a world where all people are accepted for who they are, and for working to create systems that support the fullness of life. I wanted and want to truly encounter God in all of life. The life of Mercy has taken me on many paths. The current path is one of service to our schools by being the Executive Director of Mercy Education System of the Americas. I have the privilege of working with 55 schools in Argentina, Belize, Jamaica, Honduras, Guam, and the Philippines, and the United States. What gives me the greatest joy is learning how you, as this generation of mercy, learn about and live out the gospel values through the critical concerns and core values. Your depictions yesterday were very evident in your chalk drawings, which were very moving for me to see how you depicted all you were learning. These critical concerns and core values are just not words for you. They have moved you to action. They have and are shaping you into the person God has inspired you to be. I leave you with two thoughts. First, I challenge you to let the seed of the possibility of religious life be planted in your life. It will not germinate and grow in all of you, but it might in some of you. The one thing I can promise, religious life is a great answer to God's call. God will never leave your side, and honestly, religious life is never boring. And you can help make sure that the Sisters of Mercy are here in Belize for another 140 years. Lastly, I thank you for all you are doing to spread mercy to the world, for putting the critical concerns into practice, and for living the core values. You may know that on Catherine's deathbed, she completed her will by passing the mercy legacy on to every living Sister of Mercy. She did this by signing each sister's name in her will. Today, your name is added to carrying on this legacy. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Lisa. I think what I heard was you travel, you were always on a journey, But you're a sister? The traveling part just got me. That would have been it. It's never boring, ladies. This is not our cell to be a Sister of Mercy, but if you do like to travel, please join the Sisters of Mercy. That is a good cell. Thank you, sister. The dog, Sister Caritas, and the boys at SJC, they were trying to sneak in when we were having sports day, and Sister Caritas had 2 huge dogs. The dogs maybe were bigger than Sister Caritas. She went to the convent, took out the dogs. The dogs were pulling her as she went toward the boys. The boys could not find the fence any faster. They jumped over the fence and Sister Caritas said, "Keep out. You are not allowed." That was a sign. Stay away from boys. To stay away from them. Sister Caritas said so. All right. We continue with our talk. Today, it is also another pleasure to introduce an alumna who has done great work in Belize. Honorable Tracy Ann Tager Panton considers herself a daughter, a mother, a political leader, an advocate, a servant of the people, and of course, a mercy girl. In November of 2020, Honorable Tracy Panton was re-elected as the area representative for the Albert constituency for a 2nd consecutive term, only this time as a member of the Queen's loyal opposition in the House of Representatives. And she holds the distinction of being the first woman to have ever contested the leadership position in any of the 2 major mass parties in the country. Honorable Tracy Panton is the first woman to have won the area representative of the Albert constituency in Belize City. Appointed the Minister of State in the Ministry of Economic Development, Petroleum, Investment, Trade and Commerce, with a direct oversight for investment, trade and commerce. She served as Belize's official representative on the Council for Trade and Economic Development for the Caribbean community. Her other key achievements of her stewardship included the development of the first national trade policy for Belize and led the country in an effort for the negotiation of several bilateral, regional, and international trade agreements to facilitate the export of Belizean-made goods and services. Prior to seeking electoral office, Honorable Tracy Panton had an impressive tenure in Belize's tourism industry, spanning over a period of 25 years. She held many leadership roles in this important sector, including the Director of Tourism and the Chief Executive Officer in the Ministry of Tourism, Culture and Civil Aviation. She presently has the distinction of being the Vice Chair of the Caribbean Democrat Union, with a focus on women and minorities within sister parties of each chapter of Caribbean Women in Leadership, a non-profit organization promoting women's leadership development to ensure greater participation and inclusion. A humanitarian at heart, Honorable Tracy served a 2-year term as the National President of the Belize Red Cross Society. She holds a Master of Science degree in Business Administration from the University of West Indies, Cape Hill School of Business in Barbados, a Bachelor of Science degree in Tourism Management from Florida International University in the United States, and she completed her associate's degree in hospitality management at Berkshire Community College, and is also a proud alumna of St. Catherine Academy, class of 1987. Her years of experience in leadership, fueled by her compassion for humanity and deep desire to improve the quality of life for all Belizeans, can be attributed to the holistic educational experience she received at this academy. Of all the roles she has assumed in her career path and all her achievements in her now almost 35 years of service to Belize, She is the proudest of her role of mother to her two beautiful daughters, Adriana Maud and Hope Robin, and without question, her most important life achievement yet. Ladies, gentlemen, please let us welcome Honorable Tracy Panton.
Good morning. I wish to acknowledge the Sisters of Mercy, those here at home and those who are visiting from Honduras, and Guyana, and the United States.
All the present and past faculty members of St. Catherine's Academy. I wish to acknowledge our alumni present this morning, and one who I met for the very first time, Ms. Karen Francis, the class of 1976. Got it right. It is, for me, a distinct honor and a privilege to have been invited by our school principal, Ms. Salome Tillit, and the organizing committee to be part of this historic and momentous occasion, and to sit on such a distinguished panel as we each take some time to reflect on the impact of our Mercy education. I wish to personally express my deepest gratitude to the Sisters of Mercy, whose selfless undertaking to travel from the shores of Dallas to the shores of Belize in 1883, and to invest their collective effort in providing meaningful academic opportunities for young girls. This
has forever changed the trajectory of our Belizean society in a way few other singular undertakings have ever had since. I especially wish to acknowledge those sisters who had a direct impact on my two older sisters, Judy Ann and Romy Ellen, and my two daughters, Adriana Maud and Hope Robin, who, like myself, had the Mercy experience. It is safe to say that the 4 years I had at SCA were among the most formative in my adult life and the most transformative to date. Now, I was asked by Mrs. Tillit to sum up my Mercy experience in 8 minutes, and as I contemplated how I could best accomplish this, I thought I would share with you, Mercy girls, the 5 lessons, the top 5 that have stayed with me since I entered this academy in 1983. Life lesson number 1. The importance of building a strong foundation. Let me assure you that your time here at SCA is building the foundation you need for life. Whether you're building a family, a career, a business, whether you've chosen to follow a certain professional path, it is important to build on a solid foundation. The holistic development of each young woman that walks through the gates of this high school compound is what distinguishes St. Catherine's Academy, in my view, as a center for excellence. My academic development at SCA has been paramount to my own professional growth. Academic excellence and innovation continues to be at the hallmark here at SCA. I remember having to dig deep to get through Sister Christine's Spanish classes and Mrs. Castillo's math, Mrs. Sandiford's shorthand, which I can't even remember a stroke. Failure was not an option. Expectations of students were high. The support system for success was built into the curriculum design. It required discipline and determination. We were nurtured in a controlled and safe environment to compete and to excel. Let me hasten to add, while our academic development was a critical component in laying the foundation for adulthood, equally important was the commitment to our physical, our emotional, our social, and our spiritual well-being. The many extracurricular activities were designed as a larger part of the matrix for learning. I joined the Glee Club, the volleyball team, and actively participated in student government for the 4 years I was at SCA. While I still sing in the shower, and my volleyball prowess ended abruptly in my senior year, my active participation in student government shaped the trajectory of my professional responsibility that now affords me to live out what I consider my life's purpose. Life lesson number 2. There is great power in our voice. At SCA, I learned that as young Belizean women, we too had a voice, and that our voices add value to the ongoing conversation about our Belizean society. As young scholars, we were encouraged to think outside the box, to challenge the status quo respectfully, and to debate the issues affecting daily life. It was okay to stand up for the things we believed in and the mercy values that we were being nurtured in, to speak out on current and national events. We were cultured to embrace our femininity as a source of strength, that as a community, we could only become stronger if women had a seat at the decision-making table. No just, no fair, no equitable society could ever be built if the voices of women are not at the table. I urge you, I implore you, be intentional with your voice. Speak up. Speak out. Speak boldly and loudly and clearly and confidently. Your contribution at whatever stage of life you are is invaluable to our Belizean society and to us as a people achieving our highest potential and the greatest good. Life lesson number 3, the importance of service to humanity. We've heard it. We've heard that phrase that says, to whom much is given, much is expected. As it is now, volunteerism was a big part of my school life at SCA. I learned through the process how to live out my Christian ideals, to feed the hungry, to care for the sick, to clothe the naked, to provide comfort for the brokenhearted. I learned that it was important to pay it forward and that there were special graces given to us in every act of service. The Sisters of Mercy we honor and pay tribute to today did not stop at providing a quality education here at SCA or at Muffles College in Orange Walk. They contributed to service through our Guadalupe Spiritual Life Center, the Mercy Kitchen, the House of Mercy in Punta Gorda, and the Mercy Clinic, where my mother served as the in-house doctor for years prior to her retirement. Many of the sisters ventured away from the convent and lived among us within our communities. I have that experience today, where there are sisters who live in the constituency I represent. They led by example, always with a commitment to ensure a better way of life, where each of brothers and sisters keep her. I can't say, truthfully, that this life lesson fully resonated with me during my time here at SCA, but the seeds were planted. Every act of kindness you share with humanity is a gift you give to humanity, and a gift we give ourselves. The society we live in and the one we envision for our children and our children's children is a society we're prepared to build ourselves. It has been said that charity begins at home. A kind word, a listening ear, a gesture of empathy and compassion shared with each other in this student body is where it begins. Life lesson number 4. Cultivate daily practices or rituals that help to build character and keep you centered on your faith journey. Prior to attending SCA, I attended Holy Redeemer Primary School. During those years, I attended Mass, received the sacraments, followed the Catholic rituals. And while at SCA, we also had to study the Catholic doctrines. It was in these 4 years that I began exploring my own spirituality. That is, my personal relationship with God. This journey began for me and provided for me the blueprint for the person I wanted to become and the person I'm still becoming. I came to understand that religion and spirituality are distinctly different. Exploring my spirituality has served both as an anchor and a compass on my life's journey today. My first spiritual retreat at SCA opened up for me a whole new way of thinking, a whole new way of being, a new path that helped me to shape my own moral compass, because we're each responsible for that for ourselves. Strengthening my belief system, bringing me closer in communion with my Creator. My spirituality has been sort of a rite of passage, if you will, afforded me through a solid Christian education. It continues to guide every decision I make. It has helped me to navigate life's challenges, pitfalls, and tests. For me, it is as essential as the air that I breathe. And I cannot underscore enough how important it is to develop those tools that will help you to build character and to keep you grounded in your faith. And finally, life lesson number 5, the importance of preserving this bond of sisterhood. The sisterhood is inherently the culture and norm at SCA. The ability to form lifelong friendships, to build strong professional networks, to forge partnerships, to collaborate with classmates is the gift that keeps on giving. My graduating class of 1987 remains closely connected today. We work on projects together. We stand in the gap for each other. We cheer each other on. We provide both counsel and support as the need arises. My best friends, there are 4 of us, shared the STA experience. And almost 40 years later, we have shared every life experience together. Marriage, divorce, the birth of children, the nurturing of our families, critical illness, career advancement, death of loved ones. We are sisters in the truest sense of the word, in every facet of life. In every season of my life, that bond of sisterhood has remained unwavering. Now, how is that for a comfortable cup of tea? Cherish these friendships that you are forming today. Nurture them, hold on to them. Life, as I know it, would never be the same without my SCA sisters. My 4 years at SCA were not all peaches and cream, and definitely not all bed of roses. There were tough spots and hard moments, but mercy prevailed. We learned to be resilient and forgiving. We learned preservation and determination. We learned how to navigate both the highs and the lows, to quickly adapt to the changing variables, and to become both socially conscious and responsible. Today, we are stronger, and the community we are all part of is better for the legacy of a group of sisters who brought their vision to our shores. Their legacy shined brightly within us and should shine brightly through us. May these rich traditions continue to evolve as SCA, as each of you make your collective mark and have a positive impact on our humanity. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Honorable Tracy Panton. And several things that stick there. Sisterhood is very important, and it doesn't just stay here, and we can't reiterate that enough. When you leave SCA, you're not leaving as an individual, but you're leaving as sisters and as a family. And again, student government, just a little tip. Honorable Tracy said she ran for student government, the student council. Yeah, that's kind of like indicating where you will be in the next 20 or 10, 15 years. So be a part of that decision-making table. That's another strong, strong message there. And now we welcome a person who is at the decision table. And it's an honor for us again to welcome Miss Marlene Cuellar. Marlene has fans. We have a fan club. She has worked in the communications and media for the past 15 years. She is the Chief Executive Officer of Great Belize Productions Limited, locally known as Channel 5, the prestigious national television station that since 1991 has been providing Belizeans with locally produced news as well as educational and entertainment television shows. Before her ascension as CEO, Marlene was the primary on-air talent for Channel 5, presenting the nightly news as the anchor and hosting the daily morning show. She also held on-camera roles as a host of entertainment and informational programs. Behind the scenes, she's worked on developing and producing original content for the station and functioned as a part of the core management team for many years. Marlene covered international assignments as a special correspondent for the station, and over the years, she has attained multiple regional and international awards for her productions. Her success at these endeavors has earned her an esteemed reputation in the broadcasting industry. She confesses that while her media career happened quite unexpectedly, she has always had a passion for communication and development in Belize. Marlene is deeply committed to improving the standards of journalism in Belize, and this way, viewers will be better informed and engaged, which in the long run will strengthen the nation's democracy. Marlene Cuellar has worked so diligently for Belize, and it is our pleasure to welcome her on stage.
Good morning, everybody. Let me start off by saying a special good morning, acknowledging the resident Sisters of Mercy, the visiting Sisters of Mercy, the administration of St. Catherine Academy, the faculty, and of course, all these lovely ladies sitting in front of me. Good morning, all of you. I want to get some energy going, so let me hear you, class of 2023. Class of 2024. Class of 2025. All right, 26, let me hear you. Ooh, give me chills. So, first of all, I am extremely honored to be invited to speak on such a panel. I look at my colleagues on the panel and I say, what am I doing here? But I could not pass up this opportunity because I don't know, and you'll find out, if you know how deep the Mercy tradition runs in my blood. So fun fact, I've been hanging around SCA since before I was a freshman in 1997. I was here when my mom was pregnant with me as a teacher. And she, as a graduate, class of 1960, was a career educator who always talks of the experience and how the girls fought over wanting me to be named after them. Didn't happen, but that's a story for another time. So I've been hearing about St. Catherine Academy, the Sisters of Mercy, all my life. The principal at the time, Sister Caritas, was a dear friend of my mother's. And so trust me when I say that the institution is a part of my earliest childhood memories, and its lessons started very early. My mom was a proud graduate of SCA. In fact, one of her favorite memories that she used to recount was the day a Sister of Mercy showed up at her house to offer her a scholarship to attend SCA because her family couldn't afford it at the time. And that she would then go on to be the first in her family to attend high school and to graduate from high school, and starting a legacy of Mercy girls in my family. Her little sister followed suit. Each of my mom's daughters, all 6 of us girls, graduated from SCA. My first niece went to SCA, and I'm very sure in about 6 or 8 years, the 2 littlest ones will be putting on their white uniform and green tie. So it runs deep. This family history is just one of the things that I wanted to set the backdrop on to let you know how I have heard of the contributions of the Sisters of Mercy from that very first scholarship to subsequent scholarships that my sisters attained, to the experiences that they've had here, and to all the other lessons they've learned. It is an experience that has provided a solid foundation for community, service, and faith. It was an honor to be accepted at SCA regardless of generation, and I see it time and time again. I asked my sister, who's a vice principal at a primary school, where do the girls want to go when they graduate? SCA. So it reminds me that the prestige still holds true today. You're celebrating 140 years of contribution of a group of women tied to their faith and service that have offered us a lot to celebrate. And I say us as past graduates, and us including you, because I guarantee you over the course of your life, you will continuously benefit from the time that you have spent here. SCA is an incubator for some of the most brilliant female minds in today's society. Today, I can seek specialized service from mental health services, physical health services, legal services, marketing services, financial services, IT services. I could go on, including entrepreneurs all over the country. And I'm only giving you example from my graduating class. I dare you to ask your teachers or throw out a profession where there has not been an SCA graduate who has played a pivotal role in establishing themselves in that industry or sector. I dare you. There's only one I can think of. And I believe Honorable Panton is still hoping for that one. First female Prime Minister. But she is paving the way. They have paved the way. Me, I continue to be right in front, or Dean of Discipline. And we all knew that she had to enforce the rules, but we also knew she was very soft-hearted. Sister Rose, who is also here, who challenged me from my very first year here. And I'll tell you this, I think as we grow older, as you grow into leadership roles, you realize how imperative it is to challenge people when you can identify untapped potential. And I'd like to say a lot of my teachers are still here. Ms. Riverol is still here. Ms. Phillip taught me before she was your principal. I think I see Ms. Abby, Ms. Delika. I don't know who else I may be missing. All of them have played such a crucial role in developing who I am today, and for that I'm grateful. And so I know that message continues with you today. The school also fosters a sense of community, not just among students, but also in our broader society. When you think of building volunteerism in the students, from coastal cleanups to countless hours of community service, and even the Big Sister, Little Sister program, that's your first experience with being a mentor. All of these things are important values. But what I'm proud of is how the institution over the years has also challenged the status quo in society. Even as a Catholic institution, I can vividly recall having very open and frank conversations, even about reproductive health. It demonstrated an openness to and an understanding of today's reality. And of course, we can never forget that St. Catherine Academy was the first school to accept students back into the classroom after having a child. A decision that should be a source of pride for all of us. And speaking of pride, a school that not only excels academically, but also in sports. There is no greater joy than seeing your star athletes in competition. They still hate us very much when you go to competitions? Yeah? And we still beat them? All right. And I see today that you still get to enjoy the super talented athletic teams that you have. It's this balance that the school and the Sisters of Mercy have aimed to strike between learning, growing, and exploring new interests. And it starts here, and hopefully you will carry it on for the rest of your life. I'm sure if you were to pool all graduates of SCA, this would be a recurring theme. But the friendships you make here will last for a lifetime. SCA builds a bond that withstands the test of time. It is the most valuable takeaway from my Mercy experience. Imagine you now have a tribe of strong, intelligent women to walk this life with you. And that's a gift that keeps on giving. And I also want to acknowledge, while it may not have been my time here at SCA, but another Sister of Mercy who played a pivotal role in my development. Sister Carolee Chinona, who I came to know after I graduated from SCA, was the head of the Jesuit Volunteer Program, which I did after graduation. And she really helped to solidify the lessons of the Sisters of Mercy through that experience. The importance of participating in building a community through continued service, and to be deeply rooted in faith and spirituality. I want to close this morning with one of my favorite SCA memories. My principal at the time, Miss Alice Castillo, used to play songs over the PA system, and there was one song that she played very often. It's Leanne Womwat's I Hope You Dance. Now I'll tell you, back then, of course, we thought it was very comical, but now it is still one of my favorite songs. And every time I hear it, it ignites a spark in me. It reminds me that there is a large community of strong, brilliant women who wish us the very best, and that when our time comes, they hope we dance. They hope we flourish. And like our school song, onward to victory. Because that's thanks to our SCA. Thank you.
Thank you, Marlene, and you did bring back a lot of memories, a lot. And yes, it is true, when you're here, you don't think it's important, but when you leave, something ignites, and it will never leave you, never. And so we continue today with our conversation, and we saved, very importantly, the last. Madam Justice Michelle Arana represents the class of 1985. She is the former acting Chief Justice of Belize and presently the Justice of the Court of Appeal. She received her legal training from the University of the West Indies and the Norman Manley Law School in Jamaica. Justice Arana also holds a Bachelor of Science degree in English from Ball State University in Eunice, Indiana, a Master of Law degree in Commercial Law from Birmingham University in the United Kingdom. She has held positions such as Magistrate, Crown Counsel in the DPP's office, Legal Advisor to the Social Investment Fund, and Registrar General of the Supreme Court and Court of Appeal in Belize. Justice Arana has experience as an attorney in private practice for an offshore financing counseling firm. She has recently lectured in business law as an adjunct law lecturer of the Masters of Business Administration program at the University of Belize. Social engagements by Justice Arana include membership in the National Women's Commission and being a legal representative of Youth Enhancement Services. Justice Arana was confirmed as a Justice of the Supreme Court of Belize in 2006 and, in effect, became the first female to hold that position in Belize. She is a Fellow of the Commonwealth Judicial Education Institute at Dalhousie University in Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada. She is the recipient of the International Student of the Year Award from the University of Birmingham, United Kingdom. She is also a recipient of the Alumni Achievement Award from St. John's College Junior College, being recognized as someone who has fulfilled a high level of achievement throughout her professional career. During her tenure as Justice of the Supreme Court, Justice Arana has acted in the capacity of Chief Justice on several occasions during the absence of the substantive Chief Justice from the jurisdiction. In 2020, she was elevated and appointed the Chief Justice of Belize. This appointment recognizes Justice Arana as the first female Chief Justice of Belize and the first Garifuna person to hold the post of Chief Justice of Belize. And we are certainly proud to say she is a Mercy Girl. Ladies, please let us welcome Madam Justice Michelle Arana.
Thank you so much for that very warm welcome. I wish to first of all thank the Sisters of Mercy and Principal Mrs. Salome Tillett for inviting me to participate in this distinguished panel discussion on this, the auspicious occasion of the 140th anniversary of the Mercian tradition in Belize. I welcome this opportunity to publicly express my profound gratitude to the Sisters of Mercy for helping to mold me into the person I am today. They demonstrated for us through their own lives how to be strong, self-reliant, God-fearing women who boldly charted a course which required courage and resilience in a changing world. I am personally in awe of the profound courage it must have taken for those original Mercian nuns who first came to our shores in 1883, at a time when even in the powerful United States, their country of origin, there was civil unrest and strife, racial discrimination, and women barely had any rights at all in that society. Those brave souls left the United States and came to colonial Belize 140 years ago and established schools like St. Catherine's Academy and muffled in the Mercian tradition here. volunteering spirit has been passed down to the Sisters of Mercy that we know and love. A spirit that was handed over to us as their students at SCA. The Sisters of Mercy led us by their example, and as I have often said publicly on previous occasions, even the hope and the dream of attending SCA was strong enough to propel women like my mother, Mrs. Agnes Arana, to study hard and achieve academic excellence on their own in the face of great challenges. My mother was accepted to SCA, but because of poverty, she was not able to attend. But even the hope and dream of doing so propelled her to sit her exams from England. And that drove her to qualify herself, and eventually she became a distinguished teacher right here at SCA. It must have taken tremendous strength, for example, to establish the extremely progressive policy mentioned by Ms. Koyar earlier in her presentation to you. That policy which would enable girls who became pregnant while attending this institution to continue to earn their high school diploma, instead of kicking them out and throwing them out into the wild, to the mercy of the world because of their fallen status in the eyes of society. In doing so, those Mercian nuns braved the wrath of those members of society who would look at it as anathema, and which in their view would only serve to corrupt other SCA students and make them promiscuous. That forward-thinking policy allowed vulnerable young women to, through their education, be able to provide financially for themselves and their children at a time when they needed that support the most. As SCA graduates, we have been taught to care for the less fortunate and to do our best to contribute to the betterment of society. The legacy of the Sisters of Mercy is one of which we can all be proud, and I give God abundant thanks for all that they have done for me. I wish to share with you a few brief anecdotes of my experience here with the Sisters of Mercy. And I will share before I continue that apart from my professional career, of which I am quite proud, I am also the mother of two children, the apple of my eye, Brianna and Richie. I'm the daughter of Mrs. Agnes Arana, who is sitting in front, and the sister of Gregory, Michael, and Adrian Arana. So what are some of my memories of being a student like you all here at SCA? I have fond memories. Line dancing with Sister Yvonne Hunter to songs like Winchester Cathedral and Rhinestone Cowboy. The impact of my interaction with that particular nun is that she taught me the importance of making time to enjoy music and dance, even in the midst of meeting your responsibilities for school and later in life. And even today, when I do find the time, I love to dance. You have heard a lot about Sister Caritas Lawrence, and I can say, even from my time in 1981 and 1985, her constant refrain, "You all must become women fully alive." And I will cite for you my experience as a prosecutor in court. In the 1990s, I had Sister Caritas come and testify on behalf of a character witness for the opposing side who had been convicted. I was a fully grown 26-year-old attorney at law. And when I saw Sister Caritas dressed in her immaculate white, I was mentally transported back to my time at SCA as a 12-year-old SCA student, and I had to muster every ounce of strength to stand up and put questions to her in cross-examination. My interaction with Sister Caritas taught me resilience and determination, and it is only later in life when I reflect upon what she used to tell us as women fully alive. We used to, as teenagers, laugh and make fun of it, but now, later in life, we understand that her favorite admonition to us that our life goal was to become women fully alive, she was actively molding us and encouraging us to seize every opportunity in life to excel academically and professionally in all that we do. Sister Christine Escalante was another nun who impacted me deeply. Her solemn, strict demeanor, she was my homewoman, 1C, home teacher, and her heart of gold taught me the importance of discipline and prayer in daily life. I remember one of the demerits I got in class was because we were supposed to learn the Nicene Creed and the Apostles' Creed. Michelle Arana did not know it and blended the two together. So Sister Christine gave me a demerit, and I learned from it. She was a Spanish teacher par excellence who loved her craft and was fully dedicated to educating our young minds. From Sister Christine, I learned from her example that I must always remain humble and put God first in all aspects of my life. Sister Mercy Cervantes has a kind and gentle spirit. With her firm, quiet guidance and calming demeanor, she taught me the importance of always striving to accomplish my best and to reach my potential. Sister Sarita Vasquez, beautiful, generous spirit, profound wisdom and prayerful compassion after my father died suddenly in 1983. I was a 13-year-old second form student right here at SCA. The trauma of losing my father as a loving, protective provider plunged me into the depths of great despair, resulting in my losing much of my religious faith. I could not understand how such a wonderful person could be ripped from our lives when in my humble view there were lots of waste of time, people who didn't even care about their children. And it was Sister Sarita's loving guidance that kept me on track and reassured me that God has His plan for all of us. And it was with her kind and gentle counseling that I was able to remain strong in the face of my trials. Apart from the nuns themselves, the teachers who taught us in the Mercian tradition kept us on track. I remember my own mother, Mrs. Agnes Arana, very strict disciplinarian. She's sitting right there. Everybody who went through her class knew it. 3 of us were taught by her. Only one escaped being taught by her. She taught me, I was in her class, and she treated me like I was any other student. No favoritism there. In fact, my memory slipped. I made the mistake of calling her mommy in class. That was not considered cute by her. I am Mrs. Arana to you when we are in school. The next one I think I remember about her teaching me is geography. My map was a bit messy. It was a geography assignment. And my good friend and classmate, Milikwan, her map was drawn to perfection with key and all kind of thing. As I reached home that day from school, I heard, Michelle Agnes Arana, but all of us know when your full name call you in deep trouble. Come here to me. What type of map is this? It looks as if you draw it with your foot. Suffice it to say, that was the last time I personally handed any pasty-looking last-minute homework to her. Lesson learned, pay attention to detail and always put your best effort forward. I smiled when I heard Ms. Koyar mention Mrs. Alice Castillo starting the day off with a song. She did the same thing when she was in our home back in the 1980s. The song at that time was Top of the World by the Carpenters. And that taught me the importance of starting your day with positivity. Mrs. Castillo was always enthusiastic in teaching us English and very encouraging to me in my writing skills. This enhanced my love of language and literature, which served me well when I became a lawyer later on in life. I also remember and must mention Miss Nora Bradley's strict discipline in biology. She told us, read everything, and I live up to that up to this day. So those are some of the memories that are precious to me, that I have taken the time to share with you, because while these things might seem trivial at this time when you're going through it, you will realize as you mature that this institution plays a fundamental role in carving out your character. And the friends, as you have heard mentioned, I have my friends from SCA even today. We take each other through the trials of life and through the celebrations of life, through the birth of our children, through the development of our careers, the passing of our loved ones. We are there for each other. So the friends that you have today, they will provide a network for you as you go through life later on. I thank you for your attention. And once again, let me congratulate the Sisters of Mercy for the 140th celebration in Belize. I thank you.
Justice Arana, thank you so much for those words. And I was laughing over there because I can picture you in the court with Sister Caritas and just holding back and saying, yes, sister. Yes, sister. I would also like to congratulate your mother. You have done well. This is one of your greatest accomplishments. So let's congratulate her. Please stand. Please stand. Please stand to be acknowledged. There she is. And you had them listening, so I don't know if I would want to be in your courtroom. I would be scared. But again, ladies, another person at the decision table, and you can also be there. What Justice Arana also mentioned is some of the key things that the Sisters of Mercy did, especially the pregnancy policy. And I have to big up Z. Edgel, may she rest in peace, who wrote the Kalam and who made us understand what the culture was like for students in her times, when we had to fight for those struggles, when we had to fight for social justice. And that is why it is one of my favorite novels, because you might think it's, my gosh, my next book to read, but it has so much lessons for you as a Mercy girl. And so I encourage you to read it, and I'm sure we will see it at the Drama Fest, thanks to Ms. Aguilar. I think we have time for a couple of questions. So if there's any question for any of our panelists, ladies, just raise your hand and we will be there with a mic to ask those questions. Questions to any of our panelists.
No, we have a microphone.
Oh, we do have a microphone by the stage, so if you would like to come and ask the question, please do so. Don't be intimidated by these lovely ladies up here. They can't demerit you or put you in jail. Madam Arana, Justice Arana, I don't know if that is true for now. Like I said, you can't put them in jail. So, no. Please come to the mic. I saw somebody raise their hand. I know you're excited about the parade. We're going to be enjoying that parade in a few, but I would like us to have a little conversation before we leave.
Good morning. I just wanted to ask, how do you feel, or how are you happy at the progress that we have made so far, since you've left? Are you happy with how if you look at SCA right now, are you happy with the progress that we have made, or do you think we could do better, or do you think?
Hello? I think I said in my presentation that although SCA is steeped in tradition, it continues to evolve and it continues to be recognized as a school of excellence, a school that encourages innovation, and also an academy that looks at you, the person, not just the academics of life, but you, the individual, how you develop holistically as a person. And so for me, there's always room for improvement. But what I can say in my 36 years since I have left SDA, there has been, over a long period of time, quite clear examples of how SDA continues to evolve and continues to maintain an academy for innovation and excellence. You should be absolutely proud to be part of this institution. The woman I am, and the woman I am still becoming, is a result of the foundation I had here at SDA.
I agree with everything Honorable Panton just said, and I want to let you know that in my experience, I've interacted with SCA students on different levels, in interviews for different activities that they participate in. And I should not say this, it's live streaming, but I can always tell the difference. They're still doing something right. But here's how I see it. I believe that each class that goes by, you are laying a foundation for those to come. When you go out and excel, those who are entering then have something to look forward to and aspire to. Look at the ladies who I sit between. That's what you will now go up to do and continue to inspire the up and coming generations.
My question is, as a woman in today's society, that they have to be number one every single job. I want to ask, the trials that you went through, was it hard? Were there ever moments that you wanted to give up? Were there anyone who judged you guys for being as a woman working for that specific title to be known in society?
Thank you for your question. My dear, it is a continuous struggle. Don't think that because we're sitting here, the struggle has ended. Every single day, you have to dig deep within yourselves and rely on what you have been taught at this institution. You may not even realize it. That fighting spirit comes back in you when you hear the snide comments, or when you understand that people are working behind your back to try to sabotage you simply because you're a woman. You have to dig deep inside of you and realize. I remind myself of how far I have come, of how far the people before me have come. And I say to myself, you know what, Michelle Arana, you can do this, man. You are an SCA student, a graduate of SCA, you are a graduate of some of the finest institutions. Don't let people dictate who you are. You know who you are. You have survived to this point, and with God's grace, you will continue to survive and thrive. So that is the kind of confidence that SCA builds in you. Okay? Good.
Could you guys share what contributed to your career? Could you guys share what contributed to your career? Could you share? Could you share what guided to your career choice? She's asking
What guided your
career choices?
Well, as I said in my, I don't know if I said it, I think Melissa said it, my career in the media happened as unexpected, and that's a long story to get into. But I think what I have learned, and interestingly, if you go back into my SCA yearbook, my graduating year, my quote was, "Luck is what happens when opportunity meets preparation." It was a lesson I learned through my time here. Working hard, ensuring that I would be able to maximize all the opportunities that would come my way, that I would be blessed with, and for those I would have to fight for. So when I got the opportunity to start working in the media, and I started to see how it fit into my overall passion of what I wanted to contribute to society, I made a conscious effort of ensuring that anything I would take on would be with excellence. No matter how long it took to teach myself how to do it, I would continue, and it has gotten me to where I am now.
Thank you for the questions. And I will say this, being a part of St. John's College Junior College, where our values are almost the same, one thing I can tell you, and I have to reiterate it, SCA girls are always recognized. You have a distinction about yourselves. And so don't think that it ends here. When you leave with honor, and it follows you in any path that you take. But I also want today I know we're almost wrapping up and they're getting ready for the parade. And it seems it's going to be a really fun parade out there. And I think we're welcoming Muffles College in the house as well. Let's give them a round of applause, our sister school. And I want to take the words of Aliyah Marin, who was the valedictorian of the class of 2016. And she said, St. Catherine Academy is the powerhouse for innovation. And I will never forget those words that Aliyah gave, and she was right. We are the forward thinkers, the shakers and makers in whatever path or decision we take. But we also have to commend I want to personally commend some people who are here at St. Catherine's. They're alumni of the school, and they have decided as their vocation to give back to you. And so I want to big up Miss Melita Bradley, Miss Adi Ramkhan, Mrs. Adi Ramkhan, I don't see her, and Mrs. Denise Aguilar, Miss Janine Tattoos, who still fight for SCA. Fight, and when I mean fight, literally, we can get into debates, and we will always have SCA at the forefront. But I also want to pick up three dynamic ladies. Mrs. Alorita Marin, she started teaching here when I was graduating. And we have become really good friends, and we can always count on each other, because that is what Mercy does. We count on each other. Mrs. Arlene Riverol, who I think we have on speed dial, right? Especially when we have some conflicting things, especially when planning her search retreat and my encounter retreat. And we do it with all the love. And I have to big up the principal, who, yes, let us give her a round of applause, Mrs. Saloni Killick. And I have told you this, that when Sister Caritas was still alive, and I used to come here at the convent and sit on the 3rd floor, she said, Salome is doing God's work. And I can't forget those words. And I still get very emotional about that, because she recognized a gift in you. And she recognizes a gift in all of you who are here at SCA, who are still living the mission, who are still going to be out there and be a part of that powerhouse of innovation. Those who will be the future Madam Justices, the future CEOs, the future ministers, and the future Sisters of Mercy. Because we have that hope in you. And I will tell you this, we are very competitive, extremely competitive. We do not take no for an answer, ever. And when we get no's, the problem is not us, the problem is them. That's all I have to say. So I think we wanted to invite the student government, the student council, to come forward.
To ask the question, you said I give for them.
And the three young ladies who asked their questions, you are our leaders and we have a small token for you. So before you leave, please come here to get your token. Please note that I do teach at the St. John's College. I have said this, St. John's College, and whenever we are among the boys, we talk about our school song, and I have SCA girls with us and we're saying our school song is the best. For some reason, we always end up singing the school song. It never dies, and I hope we do get a chance to sing the school song, and ladies can join us before we leave.
Good morning, everyone. On behalf of the Student Council, we'd like to acknowledge our panelists and give them a small token.
Can somebody assist with a group picture, please?
ones who gave it to their pick, not you, the ones who gave, the ones that you gave.
All right, one last thing. Well, we have several things that we want to do. To our panelists, St. Catherine Academy is gifting you with a pin. Our student council will be pinning you. And I'll tell you a little bit about this pin. When Sister Catherine Macaulay was at her deathbed, and all the people were coming to visit her, being so hospitable, she said, please serve them a comfortable cup of tea. And that has been the trademark for all Mercy, all things that are Mercy. That means that you are welcome at any of our Mercy functions and you are family. So we thank you again for being our panelists. And we are very, very proud of all your achievements. We are always proud to say, that's a Mercy girl. In 2015, I believe, my graduating class had a reunion and we coined the word Mercy Gal for life. And that's it, Mercy Gal for life. The three young ladies who answered the questions, can you please come up so that we can also pin you with your comfortable cup of tea? Thank you very much, ladies. Thank you so much for being here. Don't be strangers to SCA. We will hope to. And I'll see you tomorrow at Mass and at the parade. We also welcome here today the Student Council, Muffles High School. They also have a presentation to make.
Good morning, everyone. I am Asha Garcia, and I am the president of Muffles College High School. From Muffles, we wish the Mercy Sisters of Belize a happy Foundation Day. Thank you, Muffles. I also taught at Muffles because I'm on the board there, so they're special to me too, just like St. Catherine's. Thank you. For the Sisters of Mercy's birthday, we'd like to present this delicious cake. Thank you for your service.
Thank you, student councils, future leaders of our country. So, we want to thank all of you for being here. We especially want to thank Guadalupe Media for being our broadcasters today, our audience on Facebook. We want to thank our student government, our student council for assisting us today, and the moderators, as well as those who helped to plan this event. It wouldn't have been done without you. Mrs. Rivero, thank you for inviting me to be here. And I want to remind you all of the Mass tomorrow at 4 p.m. here at the Mercy Center. Please make sure that you're here. We're going to enjoy some prayers together. Again, I thank you again for welcoming me back home. And we want to end off the way we always end off, with our school song. So let's stand up. Can we have some of those beautiful singers to come on stage to help us sing? Class of 2023, these are the days, so come on up, let's start singing. Class of 2023, come on up. Nobody from the class of 2023 knows the song? Come on up. Right there. Come on. Be proud of this song. This is yours. Ladies, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Mercy is our